So I'm back on and I've got something else to have a look at. I've got a gimbal. This is from Hohem. It's the iSteady Pro 4. This is the Pro 4 gimbal for action cameras. It will take the GoPro, the DJI, Osmo, what's the other one? You know the other one. Oh, the Insta360. You know what I mean. Yeah, it takes all the small action cameras, and it's supposed to be quite handy, this little thing, but these are not really the sort of things that I enjoy using. It's a 3-axis splash proof action camera gimbal, so it's basically designed to take all the ones with the Bluetooth devices, because it's actually got a Bluetooth power connector on it. So I'm just going to go through this quickly and just show you what we get and what we get in the box. One box, very nice. Simple little box, we can go straight in the bin. Inside the box you get this little pouch, quite a nice little pouch. It's factory molded, so the gimbal actually fits in there really nicely. I would put it in and show you, but it's actually standing next to me at the moment. So yeah, it comes in this vacuum shaped box. You get 3 different size leads. These leads are for charging, so you can actually use the hand or the grip to charge your action camera. There's a USB-C, there's a micro USB, and one of the old style USB sockets. So they come with it, and you also get a small USB-C cable as well. That'll be for charging the actual power pack. Now on the side of the power pack, on the side of the gimbal, and this is the gimbal. Oh, you also get these as well. You get this little tiny mini tripod that screws into the 1/4" thread on the bottom. You get a 1/4" thread on the bottom of the handle and also on the side of the handle as well, so you can mount it on the side of the tripod if you really wanted to. So yeah, this is your gimbal. There's a little bit of weight in it, but then I suppose it's full of battery power. So if you have a look on the side there, you've got 4 little lights on the side, and press the click and it shows you how much power you've got in there, and it's fully charged at the moment. I've actually got my Hero 8 mounted in the top. Now the mounting system is very good, very quick and very easy. You basically slide your camera in. You've got this little pull-over handle that goes over the top and clips in. That's it, it's in. It really is as quick as that for putting it in and taking it out. So if you need to change the battery on your GoPro, you take it out, but you can actually mount this upside down. If you were to take your door off the GoPro like so, you can actually mount this upside down, put this back on like that, very quick. It's now mounted upside down in there, and you can see the doors open on the end, which means you can take your lead then, if I can find the right lead, one of these ones, let's pull them apart. I need a USB-C to charge mine, which one's USB-C? This one. So let's pull this out of these little rubber clips. There we go. So I take the USB-C cable and I can then plug that in the back of my GoPro like that. Okay, and then I can plug this in the little charging port on the side of here, and there's a little tiny rubber thumb grip to get hold of, and it's very fiddly when you've got big fat chubby fingers like mine. So give me a moment. There we go, stick my nail in it. So I can then get the cable in there, plug it in. I should have done all this before I started. So I've now got the cable attached to the side there, and it's also attached to my power pack through this. So when I actually turn this on, this will then power up my GoPro and run the GoPro. It's also Bluetooth enabled, so you can connect your action camera via Bluetooth to the on-off power button, and you basically switch it on. You press the power button and hold it, and this turns the gimbal on. The gimbal's now on, and the little green light on the back showing that we are connected. And then I'm also drawing power now through the actual gimbal. I should have a red light on the front of my GoPro. You can see there where it's drawing power from the actual power pack and charging my device as I'm using it. So you can see there it's nice and steady. It goes up and down. You can see as I'm tilting, it's keeping the gimbal nice and straight, because we've got 4 different settings on here. We've got a PF, a PTF, an L, and a POV. So on PF mode, it's basically pan fixed. So you're fixing like that, and your gimbal's staying nice and level, and it's not tilting. If you watch the front of the gimbal there, it's not tilting at all, it's keeping that camera nice and level. And then when I'm tilting over to the left and the right, if I come this side, I tilt over to the left and the right, you can see it's keeping it nice and level and not tilting it at all. So if I press the button, the mode button, and go down to the next one, which is PTF, this is pan and tilt function. So now when I tilt forward, you'll see the camera tilts forward. Now when I tilt up, the camera tilts up. Okay, so I'm tilting down and tilting up. So you can see that works very, very well. And then when I tilt left and right, it keeps it nice and level still. Okay, so tilting down and tilting up, you can see the GoPro goes up and down. If for any reason your GoPro gets out of position and it gets up there, there's a little button on the front. Double press that button and it levels it back to center again. Okay, so for any reason you've got your gimbal in such a mess that you can't tell where it is and what it's doing, you can double press that button and it centralizes it and resets it back to the center again, which is pretty good. If you go to the next mode, you've got lock. That basically means when I go down and up, you can see it's staying there. When I tilt it left and right, I can literally go all the way round with this and it's keeping that gimbal in the same position. And I've actually turned it all the way round that it's gone round the other direction. Right, so yeah, double press and that will bring it back to, I'm on the facing the wrong direction. Double press and that should bring it back to level, which it doesn't because it's on lock. So that's something we've learned. The double press does not work when it's on lock because you've basically locked it in position. So I'm assuming you can then move this by hand and get this in the position you want, or you're going to use your thumb wheel on the back. You've got this little joystick on the back, so you basically turn it and point it where you want to point it, up and down, left and right, point it round towards you, like so, and it is now fixed. And that is in fixed mode and it will not deviate from that position. Okay, so let's go to the next mode, which is POV, and POV, as you know, follows. So as I'm tilting the camera, you can see the camera's moving like this, and basically what it's doing is it's giving you that point of view mode, up and down. It will follow, but it will also tilt the camera slightly and take its time to level itself up and give you that point of view mode where it looks like you're moving through things and over things. Right, go back to the top one, so we're on tilt lock. You've also got a rotation, so you can rotate halfway left and halfway right. Just gives you that little bit of stabilization to actually get that just balanced so. So if I tilt that up to you, you can see the little square on the front there. I've got that slight deviation left and right just to give you that centralization to make sure your horizon is nice and level. You've got a power button as well. When you switch the power button, it actually turns the gimbal on, it turns the action on once it's all mounted to the Bluetooth. Right, so with a little tripod, oh, we've got a sports mode as well. So this button on the front also acts as a sport mode. If you press your finger on this button, you get to move the gimbal around really fast, so it acts a lot quicker. So if I was to put this in up and down mode, so it's moving up and down with me, okay, if I press the sports mode, this will move the gimbal a lot faster. You can see on the front there that this gimbal is now moving really quick in front of me. If I take my finger off, you see it's going to slow down as I tilt up, slow, tilt down, slow. Put my finger on it, tilt up, goes up fast, tilt down, it goes down fast. So it's a sports mode for if you're chasing animals or wildlife or sports and stuff like that, and you need to be able to act really quickly and move that around. That's what that sports mode's for. Okay, so we put it down on a tripod and I'm just going to show you that you can actually control this with your phone. There is an app that you can download. You can download the app. I did this earlier on and I put it up in the corner for you to show you how it is. I downloaded it, but once you open it up, you get the iSteady app come up, and I want to connect. Yes, so press connect and it's now going to connect to that. And basically, if I do a screen record for you, right, so I've got my phone going, I've got my screen recording going, so I'll show it up on the screen in front of you what I'm doing. So if I go into my control panel, I can now lift the joystick up. If you watch the joystick as well down there, as well as my control panel, you can see I can go down, I can go up, okay, I can go left, and I can go right. So I can control what the gimbal's doing by what I've got on my phone. You've also got center. Again, it re-centralizes it, does everything like that and centralizes it and gets it nice and smooth. You've got video mode and photo mode, so you can actually switch between video and photo by pressing the button in the bottom corner, and it turns your camera over from video to photo. And then you've got your shutter, which is your start and stop at the bottom corner for actually starting and stopping your camera. We've got monolapse as well. So monolapse, I'm not quite sure what it does. I've got a funny feeling it will do a pan and tilt from left to right. So if I go from left and set that as 1 point, set at least 2 points, okay? And then we go to the second point, maybe. Go round to the second point and do that. Press next. It's telling me I've got to set the cameras to 2 positions. So let's just go round to this side because I need to know what it does. So let's go around this way, and what do we do to start it? I see, in the top corner there's a plus, so we hit the plus button, and then we go round to the other side, hit the plus button, and then we click next. And it's still telling me I've got 2 camera positions, so I need to read my instructions a little bit better to see what it is I've got to do on there. You've also got a centralize. So I think what this does is centers the actual camera and gets the camera level. I'm just going to press cancel on that a moment, and then I'm going to go back into that monolapse and actually see what monolapse does. So if we press, let's move my record button down a little bit. Add waypoints by adjusting the camera's angle and gimbal to viewing spot, and then press plus. Okay, so let's turn the camera round to the left, okay, and then press plus. Does plus do anything? I can't see it actually doing anything. Plus, next. Are you sure? Let's go around to the right. Plus. Well, I've got to say that it's going to take a little bit more than me to get this to work. But I'm sure if you read the instructions, honestly, see, I'm terrible because I don't read very well. I'm very dyslexic. I don't read very well, so I tend to not read the instructions, and I just come on and try and show you how to work something. So obviously you can set your pan and you can get your hyperlapse or time lapse to work through doing that. But I'm not very good at these sort of things, so I'm going to turn that off and I'm just going to talk to you instead. So there's your gimbal, little mini tripod on the bottom. Very, very cool, very good. It's a nice handle, nice grip, not too heavy. There's a bit of weight in it to know you've got it in your hand. But yeah, I think it's a cracking little gimbal. I love the way that you can literally just clip it off, take your camera off, and away you go. So again, press and hold the button to turn it off. 4 seconds, and it's now off. And you can see it's all gone to sleep. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's have a look and see if there's any information on the screen I can give you, because I need to give you some information. The item diameter or the dimensions is 30 by 13 by 5 centimeters. The package weight is 0.74 kilograms, and it is a Hohem Pro 4. It retails at £95. It's reduced at the moment from 99, so it's actually at a slightly decent price, and it's got an Amazon price of £99 as well. I'm just going to scroll down the screen because this does a few little fancy little things. Ideal for skateboarding, free running and stuff like that, because it's got a steady i5 stabilization. It will actually keep the camera very, very steady when you're moving, and it keeps it really, really still. It's great for hiking and climbing. Of course, when you're doing a lot of walking, and you know, when you're walking and you're walking up and down and stuff like that, you don't want to try and keep the camera from bouncing. So this should keep the camera from leveling itself off and keeping it quite right. Also, it says it's good for snowboarding and ice skating and stuff. Again, it's all anything movement where you need to keep your camera nice and level and nice and steady. Traveling and vlogging, unfortunately it doesn't have a selfie mode that you can flip it round and it actually spins round and looks at you. You've basically got to turn the grip round, in all fairness, and hold it that way. It would have been nice to have a selfie button on there so it flips round and looks at me. Because I'm a vlogger, I want to be able to look at me looking at me. One-step mounting, yeah, I showed you the mounting system on the top. Very, very quick and easy. You literally just pull that little pin out, take it out, put it back on, put the little pin, put your finger in it and clip it back on. That is super fast. GoPro control, yeah, it's got a GoPro control. Like I said, you can control your GoPro with the on and off and power button. You can actually start and record it and turn it on when you turn the gimbal on, which is really good. It's waterproof. It's got an IPX4 waterproofosity. Is that a word? Waterproofosity, which basically means drop it in a puddle and things like that and pick it up and shake it off. As long as you keep all the little rubber caps on the charging ports, because you've got a charging port on the side, you've got a DC output and a DC input. You've got a USB-C output, that will be for the battery out, and you've got a USB-C input, and that's for your power in to charge it up. What else have we got? It's a 3600 milliamp battery. So it's quite a decent sized battery, and I'm sure it'll keep that charged for ages. Plus, if you really run out of power on your phone, you can actually plug your phone in the side and you've got yourself a little bit of power to run your phone as well. It's got a 1.5, oh, they reckon the Hero 10, the GoPro Hero 10 would last for about 1.5 hours of battery. With the battery pack in that, with the iSteady 4, they reckon you're going to get 3 hours of usage. There's 3 hours of usage when it's connected to that. 3-axis stabilization with the iSteady 5 algorithm. All sounds very posh and technical for me. I can't believe I actually read that off the screen, because being dyslexic, that's really, really hard for me. Makes it really easy for filming sports and stuff, doing your vlogging. It is compatible with the other cameras, like I said, the GoPro, the Insta360 1R, and the DJI Osmo Action. That's what it's, the 3 cameras it's definitely compatible for. It's also got a fancy 360-degree footage thing. Now you can set this up so that the camera's facing you, and you can set it up so that you can spin the camera all the way around, so you can do this complete spiral thing as you're watching the video, and you can go through things, and as you're going through things you can get it to spin all the way as you're going through. I'm not going to try and do that now, because like I say, I haven't read the instructions, and that's going to make me look really, really silly if I can't do it. But if I explain it, it does a 360-degree spin. I'm sure that when I get to use it, if I can put something up on the screen, I will do. Motion time lapse, great. You can set this up for motion time lapse. You can basically point it in different directions and you can get your time lapse. Absolutely brilliant. POV mode. POV is great if you're walking around and you want to get that way that you look with your eyes and you move your head. That's what it's kind of what it's for. That's what it helps you for. Remote control custom settings. Yeah, I've just been on the remote control off of my phone. You can also get a selfie stick for it. You can get a mount to mount on the side that takes your phone, so you can actually have your phone as a viewer on the side there, mount it on the side. Or you can get a selfie stick which fits on the bottom, which extends it out and makes it even longer. They actually do them as well. It's called the Auto Inception, if that makes any sense. That's what they call it. Let's have a look. Anything else we've got on here? Operating time. It reckons it's going to give you an operating time of 14 hours use. Now 14 hours is going to way outlast the camera that you've got attached to it. So 14 hours is pretty good, and that means that you can have it switched on and you can be playing around with this for ages and ages and ages and not have to worry about the battery going flat. And you can see it's got 4 bars on the side there, and it gives you time to actually watch that going down. I did say it was splash proof. It's got an operating temperature between -10 and +45°C, so you can use this in snow and ice and conditions like that, or go out in the desert and use it in there. It's really, really hot. I wouldn't be getting sand in it if I can help it, but with it being waterproof, at least you can splash it off and give it a clean. There's not much more I can tell you about it, apart from for the money, for £100, it's a very good, very sophisticated little gimbal, and it feels great in the hand. It really does feel like you've got a solid grip on it. I would like to see a lanyard strap hole. I can't see one on there, but if they were to put like a little hole in the side so you can put a lanyard strap on it, so that if you do drop it, you can keep hold of it. What I would tend to do is I'd just screw a little hole in the side of the plastic foot in the bottom, like I've done in all my other cameras. You can see on the side of this one, if I just put that down there for you, you can see on the side of my little GoPro handle, I put a little tiny hole in the leg and put a lanyard on it, so that I know that if my hand's through there and I do forever drop it, I know that I've got it in my hand. So a brilliant idea if you can add one, but yeah, just pop a little hole in the side and you'll be just fine. So that's it, job done. Don't forget to like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up. It's really, really important, and it helps the channel grow. It helps people know that this channel is actually worth watching. And yeah, till next time, ciao for now, see you soon, and I'm off.